the people who have been given everything in life and yet can't seem to equate that to their level of intelligence. Naturally, we're going to give examples, one of which coming from the ladies over at The View, because, why not? Why not? When it's time to talk about the stupidity of the average American, you got to look at and I hate to say it, the 2.7 million viewers who tune in to The View every day. Now, another entity that used to have high viewers is CNN. That's not going well, and we have examples as to why. Naturally, we're going to look back to Scott Jennings, because when we need to show the stupidity of the people over at CNN, Scott Jennings is, of course, the man we go to. Naturally. Also, Daniel Penny has broken his silence sitting down in an interview with Jeanine Pirro of Fox News. It was nice to hear this guy's voice, hear this guy's take on what actually happened that day, and whether or not he, whether or not he would do it again, despite everything that he went through. And I'm going to correct myself on something. I said something last week that I want to take back. I was incorrect in a bit of analysis about our snowy friends to the north, the Canadians. And I don't even know how to say this. Aliens in New Jersey? What the hell's going on there? Before we get started, though, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out all over the place. We're going to have some fun today. Also, I promised you guys a funny little story about National Lampoon on yesterday's show that I forgot to get to. So I want to thank Marissa for reminding me of that. We'll get to that at the end of the show. Also, Mitch McConnell has done the unthinkable. Has done something so extreme and so nauseating. Well, I don't really know what to say. I really don't know what to say. But before we get started, guys, do hit that thumbs up button. Share the video. Share the video out all over the place. There's the live chat. There's everybody doing. How's everybody doing today? Also, a bit of an issue if you're watching on Facebook right now. Apparently, that is not working. Apparently, that's not working. So let's say hello to everybody. Let's tell all the Facebook viewers to go over here. Yeah. Not looking good. Not sure what that's all about. Hello to everyone. Hope you guys are enjoying this ridiculous weather we have up here in the Northeast today. Rain, go away. Once again, guys, tomorrow on the show, super excited. Very special guest. We have planned. So don't hold me to it. But make sure you guys tune in tomorrow for our very special guest. As a matter of fact, I think I'll be on with producer Frankie tomorrow as well. So that ought to be fun. So, once again, guys, hit the thumbs up button. Share the video out all over the place. Jeremy, what is Jeremy saying? Kevin, get rid of the cube. It's bogging down. Oh. Didn't even notice that. Okay. And it's gone. So, let's dive in, because the manifesto has been released for the United Healthcare CEO murderer. And this just goes to show you, we're going to read the entire thing. It's not very long. It's not very long at all. But it's going to show you that the left, the radical left, are actually just dumb. They don't do a lot of research. They don't really seem to know what's going on. They tend to rely on ridiculous one-liners that sound good. We're going to give you some examples of that, because it's a very, how would you say, shallow way of thinking. But let's dive in. The alleged handwritten manifesto, this from the Post-Millennial, from the suspect in the assassination-style shooting of United Healthcare CEO Brian Thompson, has been obtained and published by Ken Klippenstein. Luigi Mangione was arrested in Pennsylvania on Monday and was found with a 3D printed gun, ammunition, and fake IDs. I also just want to say, something about this story doesn't really seem to fit. Mangione, per Klippenstein, who also published the mugshots, said, quote, "He isn't working with anyone. and that the parasites had it coming. He referred to the American healthcare system comprised primarily of private insurance companies, saying that it is the most expensive in the world, but that America has roughly the 42nd best healthcare outcomes. First off, you can't say roughly 42nd. It would be like roughly 40th or roughly 50th. So clearly the guy doesn't know how English works. But he was also denied bail. We're going to get to the manifesto right now because I'm going to break this whole thing down for you and show you the shallowness of the radical left. He said, quote, and this is a very odd way to start off a manifesto. Quote, to the feds, I'll keep this short because I respect what you do for our country. To save you a lengthy investigation, I state plainly that I wasn't working with anyone. This was fairly trivial. Some elementary social engineering, basic CAD, a lot of patience, the spiral notebook, if present, has some staggering notes and to-do lists that illuminate the gist of it. I don't even know what the hell that means. Quote, my tech is pretty locked down because I work in engineering, so probably not much info there. That's definitely not true. I do apologize for any strife or trauma, but it had to be done. So he apologizes for killing someone because he doesn't want to cause anybody any trauma. Very odd. Frankly, these parasites simply had it coming. A reminder that the U.S. has the number one most expensive healthcare system in the world, yet we rank roughly 42nd in life expectancy. Now, this is what the left will do. They will take what's called single factor analysis. America spends the most, we do not have the best, therefore correlation would say something is wrong. Now, with that being said, I want to start off this rant by saying no one, right, left, center, up, down, thinks our healthcare system works. It doesn't. It just doesn't. And anybody who's ever had to deal with it knows that it doesn't. Shooting somebody in the back in the middle of the street, not the answer. Most expensive, 42nd in life expectancy. To the radical left, what this means is that because we spend the most, we should have the best. There's a sort of a philosophy out there that some people believe. And those are the people that marketing executives target the most. The kinds of people who think that a Lamborghini is better than a Toyota because it costs more. The kinds of people who think that a handbag from Louis Vuitton is somehow a better handbag than something you buy at Target. These are who marketing executives really target because they are dumb and they can be easily convinced of things. You see this particularly in the clothing industry. If you've ever watched a fashion show, you know that things that are the most expensive tend to be the ugliest. Just kind of the way things work. But to the left, take another example of their single factor analysis on explaining the world. Men make more than women on average, therefore women oppressed. They look nowhere in the middle at potential reasons for this to happen. More black people in jail than white people, therefore jail targeted black people. They look nothing in the middle. And they tend to do this on a convenient level. Now, as a person who is under 6 feet tall, it is a fact that people who are over 6 feet tall make more money than people who are under 6 feet tall. If I made a political argument saying that tall people oppress short people, you would correctly say, Kevin, you're an idiot. That doesn't make any sense. What the hell does one have to do with the other? But this single factor analysis that this young man is reading off of what appears to be a Reddit page should tell you that despite going to one of the best prep schools in the country, despite being valedictorian of that prep school, despite going to one of the best Ivy League schools in the country, having an advanced degree, this guy, Louis Mangione, is actually a dumbass. He's actually not that bright at all. Sure, maybe he's very good at taking tests, which is why he was able to get into a place like UPenn. He's probably very good at remembering useless statistics. Either that or he's really good at math. But he's dumb. The kind of person that thinks that food comes from the store. The kind of person that if you ask them where electricity comes from, they would say the wall. Single factor analysis like this are the detriment of not only political but social philosophical arguments. Because it takes into account nothing but the fact that you want taken into account. And it's incredibly dangerous because it sounds really good. Tim Pool last night on his show mentioned that you'll hear arguments like this from many on the radical left. That did you know there are more empty houses than there are homeless people? So why don't we just put the homeless people in houses and then we'd fix homelessness? Now, obviously, you are a smart person. So you know that that's a stupid argument. But to the radical left, to the overeducated left, and when I say overeducated, I mean that in exactly the terms I'm saying. Overeducated. People who have been institutionalized via education. People who cannot problem solve on their own. People who do exactly what they're told when they're told to do it. Let's get back to the manifesto. Quote, United is the largest company in the United States per market cap, only behind Apple, Google, and Walmart. It has grown and grown, but has our life expectancy? No. I have no idea how this guy could equate market cap in the stock market to American life expectancy. But let's continue. No, the reality is these indecipherable, they couldn't read what it said, have simply gotten too powerful, and they continue to abuse our country for immense profits because the American public has allowed them to get away with it. Obviously, the problem is more complex. But I do not have space, and frankly, I do not pretend to be the most qualified person to lay out the argument. So he felt so strongly that he decided to kill the CEO of a company, yet he, in and of himself, cannot articulate the reasons why he did it. Now, as we saw yesterday and as we spoke about yesterday, I have no doubt that this trial is going to be a public spectacle. The fact that it's going on in the state of New York should let you know, once again, this guy is an idiot. Because if you had, let's say you wanted to kill a CEO in order to make a public point, and you want to get on the stand and you want to row and rant and rave about the American healthcare system in order to somehow foster a public conversation about the problems and inequities, and let's be honest, cluster about the American healthcare system, then you should probably do it in a place that allows cameras in the courtroom. But the state of New York does not allow that. So when this guy goes on trial, he may or may not take the stand to defend what he did and why he did it in order to get his political point across. But no one will see it because ABC, NBC, CBS, Fox, CNN, MSNBC cannot show the trial because cameras are not allowed in the courtroom. So the entire point of this thing is moot. And as we saw yesterday when they took him out of the cop car in Pennsylvania, obviously this guy has got a point he's trying to get across. Now, we're going to take a break from the manifesto for just a moment because his college roommate or his high school or somebody he roomed with at some point in time made a very, very interesting point. A very interesting point about why it is that he's doing this. What the point behind all of it is, which we are going to get to in 1 second. Before we do that, Mike Lindell.
You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets, sleepwear, dog
Whoa, Charles. Everyone now can get MyPillow products at huge discounts at MyPillow.com. That's right. Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our 3-in-1 sale. We're bringing you exciting new products, overstock specials, and closeout deals you won't find anywhere else. For example, when you buy one of our brand new MyPillow 2.0s, you get another one absolutely free. And with our overstock sale, you save 50% on our luxurious Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.99 for the best sheets ever. And with our biggest closeout special, you get our all-season slippers for only $35. Or our sandals and slides for just $25. Quantities are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone. You're still looking good.
I'm still feeling good. You know, I've got all your MyPillow products. Mattress topper, bed sheets, MyPillows, towels, slippers, blankets, sleepwear, dog
Whoa, Charles. Everyone now can get MyPillow products at huge discounts at MyPillow.com. That's right. Now's the time to go to MyPillow.com or call the number on your screen. Use your promo code to take advantage of our 3-in-1 sale. We're bringing you exciting new products, overstock specials, and closeout deals you won't find anywhere else. For example, when you buy one of our brand new MyPillow 2.0s, you get another one absolutely free. And with our overstock sale, you save 50% on our luxurious Giza Dream bed sheets. That's as low as $29.99 for the best sheets ever. And with our biggest closeout special, you get our all-season slippers for only $35. Or our sandals and slides for just $25. Quantities are limited, and once they're gone, they're gone.
Guys, head on over to MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. That's MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD for up to 80% off everything on the website. That's MyPillow.com, promo code LOUD. So, according to this guy's former roommate, the two of them together would often read, talk about, discuss the Unabomber Manifesto. Now, I'm sure none of you have read that. But if you have read it, or if you know anything about Ted Kaczynski, you know that Ted Kaczynski was like a genius. He had like an IQ of like 200. He was like out of this world smart. And because of that, that made him a bit insane, which is why he sent bombs all over the country. He railed about technology. And many of the things, if I'm being totally honest with you, about the Unabomber Manifesto are true. About how we rely too much on technology and cashless societies and whatnot. Now, we know that obviously he was subjected to ridiculous testing while he was at Harvard. Now, we can get into all of that stuff. But apparently this guy, Louis Mangione, apparently he took the Unabomber writings very seriously. And the problem with that is that when you read the Unabomber Manifesto, which I had to do for a class I was in, really fascinating, I got to be honest with you, and you're an idiot, you tend to take it a little bit too seriously. Now, the Unabomber obviously was a 25-year-long case. I think it was the longest manhunt in FBI history, blah, 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 became famous, movies, all that. But nothing changed. Because it turns out violence, and this is the point of the entirety of the Unabomber story, it's that violence never solves anything in this context. Killing a United Healthcare CEO will not fix our healthcare system, will not do the Medicare for all thing, will not drive down profits. It won't do anything. All it's going to do is replace a new CEO, and they're going to keep moving. But because of the irrationalization I'm sorry, the rationalization of this by so many people, we are now beginning to see wanted posters pop up all over the city of New York for other healthcare CEOs. Now, with all that being said, sounds kind of familiar, doesn't it? For those of you who know your history. Kill the bourgeoisie. Kill the landowners. Collectivize everything. Sounds an awful lot like Lenin to me. Sounds an awful lot like what happened in the Russian Revolution, in Mao's Cultural Revolution, in every communist Marxist takeover of any country ever. Mao parading landlords in the street as bad people because they were profiteers. The United Healthcare CEO, let's say he made $20 million a year. A lot of money. No doubt. But if he had taken a salary of zero, it would have quite literally had no impact on anyone. The American healthcare system, and it's not a healthcare system, it's a sick care system, is far bigger than the private insurance companies. It's the fact that doctors charge outrageous prices, which oftentimes will lead the insurance companies to deny coverage. Not that I'm justifying a lot of what they do. You guys know how I feel about the insurance industry in general. But killing someone is never the answer to that. And the problem is, too often, far too often, the conversation gets dominated by idiots. We're going to show you that idiot in just a second. I want to finish this up. Back to the manifesto. Quote, but many have illuminated the corruption and greed decades ago, and the problem simply remains. It is not an issue of awareness at this point, but clearly power games at play, very Hobbesian sort of ideas here, that power undergirds all decision-making in society. Very Marxist thinking here. Evidently, I am the first to face it in such brutal honesty. Now, I want to be clear. When things like this happen, people will move on in about a week. They'll move on. This trial will happen. Everyone will forget this guy's name, and he'll languish in prison. Klippenstein said that, quote, I obtained a copy of the suspected killer's manifesto, the real one, not the forgery circulating online. Major media outlets are also in possession of this document, but have refused to publish it, and not even articulate a reason why. My queries to the New York Times, CNN, and ABC to explain their rationale for withholding this manifesto while gladly quoting from it selectively have not been answered. So apparently, CNN, MSNBC CNN, ABC, I should say, and the New York Times had a copy of this and chose not to publish it. Why? I don't know. I'd be curious to see how many commercials are taken out on CNN and ABC for companies like United Healthcare. Don't worry. No big deal. No big deal. But, as I've said, we have to make sure that we get to the stupidest take of all. The dumbest of all takes. Before we get to that, guys, hit that thumb. Something's happening in the chat. What's going on in the chat here? Bum, bum, bum. Somebody not nice in the chat. Somebody not nice. Guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out all over the place. Want to say hello to everybody. Sassy Lady, how are you? Sleazy Auto, how are you? What's happening while I get a sip? Peg, how are you? Just leave him be. Leave him be. He's only helping the algorithm, guys. Once again, guys, hit that thumbs up button. Share this video out all over the place as I tell you guys about my friends over at Cozy Earth. Guys, a silent night starts with the right sheets. Cozy Earth bamboo sheet set is the ultimate gift set this holiday season, elevating everyday luxury into something that everyone will use and absolutely adore. This gift has unparalleled comfort, making every night feel like a serene escape. And don't forget that the holidays are best spent lounging around the house in the most comfortable pajamas imaginable. And Cozy Earth pajamas are designed for you to cherish those moments of relaxation, ensuring you feel cozy and stylish all season long. Cozy Earth's goal is to help you create a sanctuary in your home, a refuge from the demands of the outside world. And we understand the significance of finding comfort and tranquility in the midst of our hectic lives. Your 5 to 9 should consist of relaxation and rejuvenation, unwinding and embracing a sense of calm. With Cozy Earth, you can transform your space into an elevated heaven where serenity and renewal intertwine effortlessly. Guys, head on over to CozyEarth.com/LFA. That's CozyEarth.com/LFA. Order by the 13th for free shipping, and you can still get expedited shipping until December 20th to ensure that your gift arrives on time before Christmas. If you use the exclusive code LFA, you will get up to 40% off, guys. It's 40% off everything on the website. Guys, give this gift of luxury this holiday season. That's CozyEarth.com/LFA. What is happening, everybody? Boom. How's everybody doing today? So, obviously, we've got to look for the dumbest take imaginable on all things insurance. Naturally, we look over to the ladies at The View. Naturally, we've got to look at the girls over at The View. Here's Whoopi Goldberg saying that when she pays into her insurance, if she doesn't want it, if she doesn't use it, they should have to give the money back.
There are things we can fool with and things we can't. Healthcare is one of those things that you shouldn't be able to fool with. And insurance companies who you pay, I pay into my insurance, you pay into your insurance. I don't understand. If I don't go to the hospital for a whole year, where's my money? Why don't you give me the money back? Then you don't have to worry about it. Because I feel like, I said this, okay.
We got Bill coming on.
I know we got Bill coming. But
oh, so you should pay into insurance, and if you don't use it, you get it back. So then how do they pay for it when you do use it? And also, let's be very clear here. To pretend that Whoopi Goldberg isn't on some kind of hypertension medication or she's got the beats. Let's be honest here. I'm sure she's using it. Just because you didn't go to the hospital doesn't mean you didn't use your health insurance. But we've got to make sure at all times when we are looking for the dumbest possible argument imaginable, we check out the ladies over at The View. So brilliant. Out there looking like Predator. So, on to the next story as you guys are hitting that thumbs up button. Once again, thumbs up, thumbs up, thumbs up. Booyah. Let's go. Let's keep rocking and rolling here. Daniel Penny has broken his silence after, not speaking at all. As a matter of fact, when somebody put a camera in his face at the celebration after the trial, he walked away from the camera. Completely does not want the limelight at all. He sat down with Jeanine Pirro of Fox News, and he seemed pretty humble. The New York City Marine veteran Daniel Penny sat down with Judge Jeanine Pirro, this from Fox News, for a powerful first interview since jurors found him not guilty of criminally negligent homicide in the subway, saying, quote, he was threatening to kill people. Penny said in the preview clip that aired on The Five on Tuesday, he was threatening to go to jail forever, to go to jail for the rest of his life. And now I'm on the ground with him. I'm on my back in a very vulnerable position. If I had just let him go, now I'm on my back and he can turn around and start doing what he said to me, killing and hurting. I want you guys to see this clip of Daniel Penny and ask yourself this question. Is this a stone cold killer? A man that was out there looking for blood? He was out there hunting black people? No.
I mean, I'm not a confrontational person. I don't really extend myself. I think this type of thing is very uncomfortable. All this attention and limelight is very uncomfortable. And I would prefer without it. I didn't want any type of attention or praise, and I still don't. The guilt I would have felt if someone did get hurt, if he did do what he was threatening to do, would never be able to live with myself. And I'll take 1 million court appearances and people calling me names and people hating me just to keep one of those people from getting hurt or killed.
Oh, yeah. That's a real stone cold killer right there. The kind of person anyone would want on the train with them. But everybody and their mother over the course of the last several days have been making every excuse in the world why Daniel Penny is a no good, very bad man. But he isn't. As a matter of fact, in this scenario, if you take everyone involved in this, if you take Daniel Penny, Jordan Neely's family, the BLM activists, the contributors on every mainstream media network, if you take DA Alvin Bragg, if you take Mayor Eric Adams or Governor Kathy Hochul, if you take every single person in this scenario, Daniel Penny is the only person who did anything right in this scenario. Everyone, take the whole system. Jordan Neely shouldn't have been out on the street to begin with, following several arrests for violent behavior. Dozens of arrests. He was among the top 50 most known homeless people to social services in New York City. And no one did anything? Daniel Penny is the only person who did anything right in this scenario. Here's Scott Jennings doing his thing.
You said there were failures on all sides. There's a lot of failures here. The only person who did not fail was Penny. Penny was a good Samaritan. He stood up for his fellow citizens in a moment when a lot of people would have not been able to, would have not wanted to, just could not have summoned the courage or will to do so. And so thank God for the good Samaritans. I think the biggest failure here, honestly, Alvin Bragg is a disgrace. He ought to resign. This man was a hero. He had his name and his life dragged through the mud for absolutely no reason other than he thought it would please radical political constituencies that he has. It is an absolute disgrace what the prosecutors did to this man.
Absolute disgrace. And, of course, John Avlon sits there, very befuddled. I'm not understanding. You know why you don't understand it, John Avlon? Because there's no subway from the CNN studios directly to your house in the Hamptons. Because you're rich. So you don't have to live amongst the rest of us. You're one of the special people. And by the way, I don't know if anybody caught who was on that panel. Geraldo, he's still a thing. What? He's on to see you. Where the hell? Can I pull that back up?
You said there were failures on all sides. There's a lot of failures here. The only person who did not fail was Penny.
Let's see. Was that Geraldo? Yeah, there he is. Look at that with that terrible ferret growing on his upper lip. Somehow, Geraldo always lands on his feet, despite the fact that he's still looking for all the stuff inside of Al Capone's vault. No big deal. No big deal there. Literally, the guy's biggest career achievement was a failure. Unbelievable. Unbelievable. But these people will never get it. They will never get it because the ones inside of their movement who actually do get it, who actually understand what's happening, are the ones they will never listen to. We'll get to that in 1 second. Before we do that, guys, start feeling better today, everybody.
Biggest benefit, honestly, has been with my skin. Skin was more hydrated, more radiant.
This is the best superfood that you could take.
It has all the essential nutrients you need for your skin, your gut, energy, focus, mood, performance.
My hair has gotten so much thicker ever since taking this.
I used to have a probiotic, a green juice. I replaced it all with this Arma colostrum. It is amazing.
You gotta take it.
If you want to try it, try arma.com.
Guys, start feeling better today with the superfood formula over at tryarmor.com/LFA. Slash LFA TV, excuse me. That's tryarmor.com/LFA TV to get 15% off. Look, you guys know you're not getting the nutrients you need every single day. All you got to do is take one scoop of this in the morning. All you guys got to do is take one scoop of this in the morning, and you guys can start feeling better today, guys. Go to Armor Colostrum over at tryarmor.com/LFA TV. That's tryarmor.com/LFA TV. Check that out today. So, as I've said, and I've tried to be fair over the course of the last several weeks, and I think you guys would all agree with that I've tried to highlight Democrats who are actually out there making a little bit of sense, whether it's Crystal Ball or whether it's Ro Khanna or whether it's Anna Kasparian, because I think it's important to have a functioning opposition party in America. I think it's important. But Democrats just don't seem to want to either listen or learn from their mistakes. Here was Stephen A. Smith, the sports analyst, sitting down with Bill Maher, discussing what should be fairly obvious to almost everybody outside of Beltway Democrats.
Arrogance of the second Democratic Party. So Biden doesn't decide to run for re-election. You grease the skid so he doesn't have to go through a primary. June 27th, he shows up and he embarrasses himself. And it positions naturally for the Vice President of the United States, Kamala Harris, to ultimately ascend and become the Democratic nominee. But the last time we saw her in a primary, she couldn't make it to Iowa. Did you really, really think that was going to work? And then here's what you did. Did you discuss the economy enough? No. You could have discussed the border because unlike Obama, who was, quote unquote, the deporter in chiefs, according to the Republicans, because he deported more immigrants than Trump did.
According to not just Republicans, but Democrats. There are Democrats who call
He
him that.
deported more immigrants than Trump, which means he just didn't talk about it, but he did it. Biden walks into office and day one, you sign an executive order that opens the border, and you let more than 12 million immigrants cross the border illegally, and you don't think that's going to be a problem? You knew that the governors DeSantis and in Florida, Abbott in Texas, and others were going to sit up there and attack sanctuary cities by busing these immigrants to your city since you had no problem with it. You were ill prepared to deal with it, okay? All of this stuff was going on. And I'm looking at it and I'm saying, so your plan for this election was to come to women and say, forget the economy, forget immigration. Roe v. Wade was overturned. It's now a states' right issue as opposed to a federal issue. You thought that was going to be enough? You thought it was going to be enough for you to look at black men and say to black men, you're misogynistic and chauvinistic, and that's the reason why you're not voting for Kamala Harris? You thought it was going to be enough for the Latinos to bring up immigration when you're not paying attention enough that the Cubans think different than the Dominicans, and the Dominicans and the Cubans think different than the Colombians, and they think different than the Venezuelans and the Guatemalans and the Puerto Ricans and the Mexicans, et cetera, et cetera. A lot of these Latinos in America want the borders closed. You didn't pay attention to that? You're from California. You were a district attorney here. You were a state attorney general here. You were a senator representing here. And you didn't know that the Latinos were going to say, yo, we don't like open borders? You didn't know that?
Yeah.
And so I'm looking at it and I'm saying all of these things are going on. All of these things are going on. And your argument essentially was, you didn't say it, but this is essentially your argument. It's her turn. It's her turn. No, the Republicans don't play that. They say, hell with all of that, whose turn it is. We want him. Who do the Democrats want? If you ask them today, they still don't know. They said Kamala because it was too late to say anybody else. But you didn't know who they would say
And also
if there
because
was a primary.
And also because the Democratic Party is ideologically captured by identity politics.
Now, look, far be it from me to give any advice to the Democrats, but that sounds like a pretty rational argument. That sounds, all right. No lie detected there from Stephen A. But Democrats don't understand it. The elitists in the media don't understand it. As a matter of fact, here was some lady on CNN just today, or yesterday, I think it was. I think it was last night, making an asinine statement about how Americans, y'all ready for this? Trump, yeah, everybody here voted for Donald Trump, I assume. Tell me if this accurately depicts why you voted for Donald Trump or not, because this lady over on CNN doesn't seem to think you voted for this.
I might be deported because I'm a naturalized citizen. And Stephen Miller, who is Donald Trump's deputy chief of staff, has said that they're going to embark on a denaturalization program. So I could be deported, my citizenship could be taken away, and my children could be deported because they have birthright citizenship. So this is not what the country voted for. Let's be very clear. Americans voted for Trump because of groceries, because of lowering costs. He has not talked about that one bit. What this country did not vote for is to deport the 11 million undocumented immigrants who do critical work for our economy, who have injected $7 trillion into our economy. And what Americans want is a solution to immigration. They want expanded legal pathways, and they do want more stronger, smart border security, which is exactly what Democrats are talking about. And Democrats have always been the ones willing to work with Republicans on a solution, and it's been Republicans that have always pulled the rug from under our feet.
Wow. No, we do not want that. We don't want that on a plane. We don't want that on a train, lady. We do not want more pathways to legal immigration. We want to shut down the leak. We want to close the border. That's what we voted for. Moreover, I've got a question for you based on your own idiotic logic. Number one, if you are a citizen and you have children, then they have birthright citizenship based on the new policies that Donald Trump has articulated. So your children are fine. That's asinine statement number one. Asinine statement number two is that we didn't vote for this. Yes, we did. We want people who are here legally to go home. I do like how she's still holding on to that 11 million, the 11 million mark of immigration. Lady, 11 million have come in the last 4 years. There could be 20, 30, 40 million. We don't know. We have no idea how many illegal immigrants are in this country. And that is the biggest problem. That's why we voted for Donald Trump. Because we know that all other problems stem from the border. You close the border, you shut down the border, that's how you fix the problems. As I've said numerous times on this show, up, down, left ways, and sideways, it is not. It is not the responsibility of the United States to take in the totality of the world's poor. It just isn't. I'm sorry. And feel free, you can take it as many as you want, lady. Take it as many as you want. Ain't nobody gonna stop you. Feel free to house them, clothe them, feed them in any way you see fit. Feel free. But she won't. She'll just expect you to. I have no doubt that her kids probably go to some fancy-ass private school that illegal immigrants will never get to go to, where they are protected, but that's the liberal way. Guys, before we keep rocking and rolling here, head on over to lfatv.us. That's lfatv.us. That's your home base, your mothership, your landing pad for all things LFA TV related. Check out the LFA TV store. That is the best way to support this network and everything we've got going on over here. We've got so much on-the-ground stuff that we're going to be looking forward to over the course of the next several months that we can't do without your help, guys. We can't do it We can't do it without your help. This is user gen. Nice to get mail. It's always nice to get mail. So, Sly, thank you so much for that. Once again, guys, lfatv.us. That's lfatv.us. So we got to talk about old Cocaine Mitch for a minute now. Old Cocaine Mitch, because he had himself a bit of an issue the other day. Apparently, judging from all reports, is he fell while walking through the Senate halls and busted up his face, blew out his wrists. Not good stuff. Not good stuff. And many people have been suggesting that it is time for Mitch McConnell to resign. Now, ideologically, age-wise, I would love Mitch McConnell to resign. But at the current moment in time, he can't resign. He must stay in the Senate. He must stay in the Senate. Because if he resigns, his seat will then be filled by the Democratic governor, Andy Beshear. See, this is why elections matter. And this is why we focus so hard on local elections. I would love for Mitch McConnell to be able to step aside. But at the current moment in time, we can't do that. Why can't we do that? Because then a Democrat will end up taking over that seat. And incumbency has huge power when it comes to running for office. Huge power. But that's not the story I want to talk about. That's not the Mitch McConnell story I want to talk about. The Mitch McConnell story I want to talk about is that according to Ryan Grimm from Drop Site News, last week Mitch McConnell was seen on a commercial flight, sitting in coach, with the people, sitting in a middle seat in coach, eating a tuna fish sandwich. Now, of all the votes Mitch McConnell has taken, that I disagree with, of all the things he's done, I disagree with, the least excusable one is the fact that he thought it was acceptable to sit on a plane and pull out a tuna fish sandwich. Were I president, that would be a death penalty offense. Don't do that. Don't eat tuna fish on a plane. It's disgusting, okay? You vile. Try to have some respect for the people around you, Mitch. What are we doing? That's the problem I have. Also, I've got to make a correction. Because I said something last week that I would like to correct. Before we get to that, guys, head on over to loudmajorityusa.com. That's loudmajorityusa.com. Sign up for the newsletter. Check out our shop. Check out all the goodies we've got here, everybody. Boom. Look at that. Who doesn't want this good stuff? Guys, all your holiday shopping can be done right here at the Loud Majority. That's loudmajorityusa.com. And use promo code LFA to get 20% off everything on the website. That's promo code LFA to get 20% off everything on the website. That is the best way to support this program and everything we've got going on over here. Also, guys, make sure you tune in tomorrow. Very special guest coming on the show, working out the exact details at the current moment in time. But some of you have already guessed who it is. Super excited for that. It's going to be one hell of a fun hour. So make sure you guys keep it locked in here for that. Also, anybody who plans on going to Turning Point USA in Arizona in 2 weeks, let me know. And I'll see you there. Come say hello, take a picture. I would love to meet all of you if anybody is so inclined to come down to Turning Point, meet me, Mike Crispy, and a bunch of other people that are always here on LFA TV. It's a good time. You should absolutely be there. So, let's have some fun here. I said something last week about the United States of America annexing Canada, as Donald Trump trolls the Prime Minister, calling the Prime Minister of Canada, calling him the governor of the 51st state. Donald Trump continued his troll of Canadian Prime Minister Justin Trudeau, branding him the 51st governor of an American state. He said it was a pleasure. This is really funny. He said it was a pleasure having dinner last night with Governor Trudeau of the state of Canada. I look forward to seeing the governor again soon, and may we continue our on-depth talks about tariffs, trade, and the results will be spectacular for all of us. Here was Donald Trump trolling the Canadian Prime Minister on Truth Social. That's just really, really funny. That's really funny. But I want to make it clear, I take that back. I take it back in full force. Because Justin Trudeau cannot be the governor of a state of America. Because today he decided to come out and say this.
Now, it shouldn't be that way. It wasn't supposed to be that way. We were supposed to be on a steady, if difficult sometimes, march towards progress. And yet, just a few weeks ago, the United States voted for a second time to not elect its first woman president. Everywhere, women's rights and women's progress is under attack, overtly and subtly. But I want you to know that I am, and always will be, a proud feminist. You will always have an ally in me and in my government.
Really? Just say you're gay. Just say it. It's okay. Nobody cares, bro. We're over it. Just say you're gay. What are you gonna do? Things happen. Bah. He cannot be the governor of a state here in America. Can't do it. Cannot do it. In other news, as we wrap up here, because we got a little bit to go, everyone's talking about it. Everybody's talking about the aliens that have taken over the state of New Jersey. Everyone's talking about this. The drones that have been seen flying overhead. Now, some people, like Mike Crispy, have suggested shooting down the drones if they cross into your backyard. Mike, I love you to death, but there's absolutely no way that's a good idea. Many other people have said it. Although, Representative Jeff Van Drew has another explanation.
In focus now, Republican Congressman Jeff Van Drew of New Jersey, member of the House Judiciary Committee on the Hill right now. How do you address this at this point?
Well, here's the real deal, Harris. You know, I'm also on the Transportation Committee, on the Aviation Subcommittee, and I've gotten to know people. And from very high sources, very qualified sources, very responsible sources, I'm going to tell you the real deal. Iran launched a mothership probably about a month ago that contains these drones. That mothership is off, I'm going to tell you the deal. It's off the east coast of the United States of America. They've launched drones, is everything that we can see or hear. And again, these are from high sources. I don't say this lightly. Now, you know, we know there was a probability it could have been our own government. We know it's not our own government because they would have let us know. It could have been some really glorified hobbyist or hobbyists that were doing something unbelievable. They don't have the technology. But let's pretend that's possible. The third possibility was somebody, an adversarial country, doing this. Know that Iran made a deal with China to purchase drones, motherships, and technology in order to go forward. The sources I have are good. They can't reveal who they are because they are speaking to me in confidentiality. These drones should be shot down. Whether it was some crazy hobbyist that we can't imagine or whether it is Iran, and I think it very possibly could be, they should be shot down. We are not getting the full deal, and the military is on alert with this.
Look, you've given us some pretty dire information just here, and I want to make sure that our viewers are digesting this. Iran has the capability to pull up along our eastern seaboard and launch drones the size of an SUV into the skies of several states, particularly New Jersey, where we know the incoming president has a large home, also in the same county or nearby where some of these drones in New Jersey have been seen. That capability exists. It's possible some of those drones are here. So I have two questions. How are they fueling them? They have to land somewhere. Drones don't fly forever. Why don't they close down the airspace? Yes, it's inconvenient. Yes, it's the holidays. Shut it down. But if you start shooting things and you don't know how they're fueled, that's going to be mass explosions. This isn't like one spy balloon. Congressman, this is serious.
We've got to bring them down, and we've got to find a way to bring them down. I don't know exactly where they're landing. Obviously, I have some information. And again, this isn't just Jeff Van Drew. Oh, let's get on Harris Faulkner's show and say something outrageous. I'm telling you the straight deal from very high positioned individuals who are telling me this. And the bottom line is they're launching them. They are across the country. We don't even have anything like this.
No.
Our government and also certainly our hobbyists don't. So think about it. not only do I have the information, but it's also common sense. We've got to get them down. We've got to determine how they function, what they do, make sure that we can get them, and you're right, in a safe way. When I say shoot them down, get them down any way that you can, but right now they're probably extracting information. This is a clear and present danger to the United States and to our president-elect, and it's a serious business.
Well, and if one of them happens to fall and they're fueled, that explosion could kill people.
I wish they had been aliens. Why couldn't they have just been aliens? I even had a perfect joke planned for if they were aliens. The joke was going to be, could you imagine flying light years across the galaxy only to end up in Morristown, New Jersey? What a disappointment that would have been. I even had a joke planned. Damn Iranians. Nothing to see here, everybody. That's not terrifying. Guys, hit the thumbs up button on the way out the door. I want to thank everybody so much for tuning in. Will Johnson's coming up next right here on this network. I will catch you guys back live tomorrow with a potential very special guest. Tune in tomorrow, guys. Until then, everybody, stay loud.